Hi, I'm Steve from Vertitron Midwest. This video we're going to go through the viscosity hot oil temperature sensor. This is something that can be ordered as an option with the controller. If you ordered it for the controller, you're going to get a bag like this here in the bottom of the controller enclosure. I'm going to open it up here and show you what's in it. Inside that bag you're going to get a temperature sensor with approximately 12 feet of cable on it. If for some reason you have to add cable to it, you can wire it right onto it, and that's not a problem. It's not going to affect the temperature reading at all. This is a shielded cable with 2 wires on it. Take a clipper and just clip the shielding off. We're not going to need that, and we don't want to have any short circuits, so we're just going to get rid of that. Inside the bag is also some instructions on how to set up this feature, but we're not going to need those because I'm going to show you right now. Here we go. You're going to take a screwdriver. The temperature sensor wires into the top of the relay board. This is actually a selective relay board. It's the same spot for selective, freight, and passenger relay boards, so it's not a problem. Okay, here we go. We're going to wire one lead into each of the terminals. It is not polarity sensitive, so it doesn't matter which lead you put into which terminal. The other end is going to go into the oil reservoir. We suggest just putting it in and zip tying it right to the motor leads so that it's sitting in the oil at all times. Once your sensor is wired up, you're going to need to go in and turn it on. Hit the mode button, and we're going to scroll down, use the down button to setup. You're going to hit enter, and then we're going to scroll down to features. We hit enter. You're going to see viscosity and hot oil are in here as some of the features that are on the controller. They're always turned on the control system. You just need to order a sensor in order to use them. Once we hit enter, it's going to say they're always actually in the parameter list. They're not turned on. I shouldn't say on. We're going to see that this one is turned off. We're going to hit enter, use the up arrow or down until it's flashing on, and hit enter. Now that's going to reveal what the actual temperature sensor reading is down at the bottom here. It's saying 74, 75 degrees. It's very accurate. It's going to tell you within 1 degree what the actual temperature of the oil is. If you scroll down now, it's going to give you the option of what do you want to set the viscosity temperature for. At this point, if you hit the shift button, it's going to flash that question mark. If you hit enter, it's going to give you a little description of what that temperature reading is going to do. When the oil hits that temperature, what's going to happen. Right here it says a low temperature at which the motor runs to warm oil turns off with a rise of 3 degrees. So if you set that setting, it's going to run the pump and not open the valve. It's going to run the pump and bypass oil until the oil temperature increases 3 degrees, or a maximum run time of 5 minutes. If for some reason you get a call on the system while it's in the viscosity operation, the elevator will just take off and head for that call. I'm going to hit shift again. I'm going to go clear and go back to one more, and we're going to turn on the hot oil. Hot oil is off. I'm going to hit enter again. Use the up arrow until it's on. Hit enter, and now this one's set for 140 degrees. I'm going to hit the shift button to get the explanation of what that is. And it's going to say high temperature at which car lowers to cool oil. Turns off with a drop of 5 degrees. So now when you go into a hot oil condition, it's going to record when it happened, and it's going to shut the car down, not take any more haul calls. It finishes the car calls. Once those are done, it goes to the bottom floor to get as much oil back in the tank as possible, and then it takes the car out of service until the oil cools down 5 degrees. It's kind of a slick way to keep your system from overheating. And now to adjust that temperature, you can hit the enter button, it'll flash, and you can hit the up or down to change the temperature. One thing we can offer is that you can use this sensor as a temperature sensor for the ambient air temperature if you would like. And if you didn't put it in the oil, you can actually program this down to, I believe we have a lowest setting of 90 degrees. So if you have a customer that's not keeping the oil or the machine room temperature within the range that you need it, you can actually set this up and say, hey look, we're going to monitor the machine room temperature, and any time that this senses 90 degrees, we're going to shut down until the temperature in the machine room drops to 85 degrees. couple other things I want to show you here. If you go back to the main menu screen and you go to monitor, now that you have a temp sensor hooked up, you're going to be able to view the temperature of the oil right in the monitor. It'll give you the minimum temperature and the maximum temperature since the power has been turned on, and then your current temperature. So it's kind of just a slick way to look at the quick temperature on the oil. If for some reason you don't have both of your wires hooked up, you're going to see a message that says probe open. That means that the probe is not hooked up. I have actually disconnected the sensor now, and I'm going to show you what happens. We're going to monitor the temperature when you short out this thing. It's not going to blow anything up, so don't panic. Just because I'm shorting out. But it's going to give you a message that says probe shorted. Anytime it says probe open or probe shorted, all viscosity and hot oil features are disabled, so that we're not going into some false operation. That's it.